Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. I thought I would bring back one of my videos that didn't get many views, I don't think, which is shocking to me because this video is really important. That's one of the Moscow police reports, and it is for September 16th, 2022. And if you recall, the noise complaint at the King House was September 1st, 2022. So this one has, let's see, a noise complaint off Baker Street, which is, there's two houses basically having a party together back and forth, which is kind of normal for the frats. I mean, they bounce back and forth and do that kind of thing. When one gets busted or the cops go there, they scoot over to another one. They're pretty sneaky that way. Of course, no report because Greek Row has power over the cops, I believe. And that's why they don't get any tickets or anything like that, or any, just like the three in the Banfield, their tickets were never brought up in court. They never had to pay those things because they never even really showed up to have to pay them. They were just thrown out basically. So they get away with anything they want to, basically, in a way. It's like, well, you've seen the noise complaint videos. I mean, they just kind of bop their hands together, fist bump, and then say, hey, go, save that money, that $300, and go buy some beer, I mean, it's creepy. All right, so then we've got a animal problem complaint. So this is West Morton Street at Cheetah Electric. There is a dog locked in a vehicle that has been there since at least 0700 this morning. There is food and water in the vehicle. Officer responded, dog not in distress. That is going on, I swear. The amount of reports that are out right now with dogs and cats in cars, locked in cars, is mind-boggling. I've never seen anything like that in any reports anywhere. Never, ever, ever. Never seen anything like that. The weirdest thing I've ever seen is someone reported that a seagull was sleeping on top of on a homeless man's head that's sleeping on a bench that was downtown, and they were probably just that's more normal than that in my opinion on here, because I mean, keeping each other warm, whatever. But locked in cars in this cold weather. One of them was locked in there for like 3 days, I guess they said on this report. It was a while back. And that was one at the Queen Road place. Ugh, disgusting. Abandoned vehicle. So 1100 block of East 3rd Street. It's been sitting there for 3 months. As usual, these vehicles, I would really seriously like to know what these vehicles, if they're like abandoned because someone's been taken and they're no longer there anymore, and their vehicles are just sitting there, or if it's the cop, like what do they call them, trap cars, where they try to see if someone's going to rip them off, like steal them, and then they catch them, because there's a camera or something in there, or warning, sirens or whatever. Or if they're just maybe spy cars that cops are in, or other people are in, just nefarious people. I don't know, but it's just creepy how many cars there are, and it's never going to sit with me well, because it's just weird. We've got a welfare check on Almond Street, which is where Thomas Adams was. He was now getting treatment, or he was a veteran. He popped off like 157 rounds, downtown, in the middle of a bunch of apartments, and just, yeah, there was a standoff there for 6 hours. He's still alive though, and he popped off 157 rounds. They found 150 shell casings, and in his home they found an ungodly amount of ammunition and about 14 weapons. 3 of them were AKRs or ARK or whatever they're called. Yeah, so they would like a welfare check done on his neighbor, which is right there, the same area. So maybe that's Thomas. This happened when he did that. That was like, I think December. Wait a second. Yeah, December 6th, but it was of the next year, not this right here. So he had a whole year to season in whatever he's going through. So we've got an electrical hazard. I thought this one was weird. Queen Road and King Road, low hanging wire across roadway. Fire department responded and unable to locate. Now, how does that happen? You've got a low hanging wire. It's got to be low enough for people to actually, report it, right? Or else the person's reporting something and they just wanted to get the police or the fire department out there for some reason because they were doing something elsewhere that they didn't want them to know about, which is kind of par for the course with this type of thing that happens over there. In fact, this whole time zone right through here in this whole area is just, well, it is so packed with all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, just, and it's almost like you can see the frats doing this, like their wheels turning as you're reading, as I'm reading these reports. I can see that. I can picture it in my brain. I mean, I seriously see it happening. And you got to think, right about this time is when the hazings are starting. Well, the pledges or whatever, they're not going to call them hazings. They say they don't do it, right? Bull crap. Controlled substance problem. 100 block of Southview Avenue. That's right by the cop shop. Complaint of possible drug activity. So maybe someone went in there and, reported it. I don't know. Or it could be at the apartments that are right across the roadway, which is the Identity Apartments, which were on Sweet Avenue. So we got a warrant arrest on 1200 block of South Main. Officer arrested male on a warrant. Utility problem. So this is on 3rd Street, also right down there where all this is going down, That is First United Methodist Church. Water was gushing out on the lawn. RP didn't see anyone around. So this happens a lot. They do a lot of water damage type stuff. And there was one report. Actually, there's a few of them, but the one that really got to me was that someone had taken their garden hose, opened up their window, the person's house, right? They weren't home. Put the garden hose in their freaking window and turned it on full blast. Could you imagine coming home to that? I mean, who thinks of these things? And why would they do something like that? What is the purpose? If not for the nefarious things, these criminal things that they get these kids to do to prove their brotherhood, to prove their loyalty, right? And then they're silenced, like they're like, they have to an oath to silence and not say a word. So here's the thing. This is what I see happening. I see that these fraternities, they're getting these new pledges, right? And they do it all the way along. They don't stop at just new pledges. They'll keep going even with like a year into it. They'll do stuff like this. That's normal. That's normal for them to do that. I mean, it's almost like they're testing them over and over again to make sure that they're solid and they're not going to say a word, right? So what I see going on here is that they're putting them in these predicaments, right, where they're meant to do these things in order to prove themselves to get into this fraternity. And same with sororities; they do the same thing. I think it's a little worse in the frats, but. But then again, I don't know because they keep it so quiet. So you've got them telling them to do these things, and then get back. Go do that. Go put it over here. Same with maybe slashing the tires. I want you to slash those tires over there. Whatever the thing is, and then run. Don't get caught. Here's the thing. That way, these guys have something on these new pledges. They have dirt on them. And at this point, they've got dirt. Whether they take recordings of it, photos of it, videos of them doing it, which I could probably see them doing videos for sure, documenting it, so-and-so's name, what time, when it was, what pledge, if he was A, B, C, or D, or maybe an F, maybe he failed, I don't know. But they document this. Mark my words, they document this, and they're keeping it right close. Right close, and they're probably filed. They probably have file cabinets of this stuff, you guys. I'm not joking about this either. This is how I feel. In my opinion, this is how they do this. This is how they get these kids, young adults, to be quiet and not say a word. Because they've all done something they shouldn't have done. And they're all threatened by bringing that to the light if they say a word. You're just like us, man. You did it too. You were there. Maybe that was a hazing, right? That went on that night. Maybe it got out of hand. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But Either way you look at it, those guys in Banfield, those freshmen in Banfield, those pledges in Banfield were running from a scene. And they looked scared, in my opinion. They looked scared. And who was chasing after them? By golly, it was a guy named Saeed, who was graduating that year. He was an alumni almost, right? He was a seasoned, probably hazer, in my opinion. Speculation. So, what do you have there? You've got these kids, I mean, and they looked scared to death. They looked scared to death to me. So, here they are, these kids, put at a crime scene. And then told, you were there too. You saw everything too. You were part of the whole thing. I mean, and these kids probably didn't have a clue what was happening. I mean, they knew there was probably something they had to do, right? Because that's just part of the thing that they do. It's part of the ritual. But they don't know what it is until it's time to do it. They have no idea. It's all in like sealed envelopes, all that kind of stuff. Alright, well, that's just the way I see it anyway. I mean, it might not even be, you know, maybe it's some of it, maybe it's not as bad as it sounds like it is, but man, I'm telling you, these reports, there's a pattern. There is a pattern big time. So we've got a nuisance obscene phone calls. Fletcher Place, that's one I've not heard of. RP reporting party keeps getting scam calls. No report. We've got an abandoned vehicle off Pullman Road at AutoZone. It's been sitting for about a month at the freaking AutoZone, you guys. At the AutoZone parking lot. Normally people like business parking lots will report something and they're not sitting there for a freaking month. Not even. They're lucky if they get 3 days. Officer responded, vehicle moved. That right there, officer responded, vehicle moved. That right there tells, wow. Okay. Usually what you'll see is chalk and tagged, which is they're going to chalk it, tag it, go back and look it up, see whose it is, give them a warning to go get this car, whatever, have it removed, or else it's going to be removed in a certain amount of days, right? Not this one. Officer responded, the vehicle was moved. That is a trap car at AutoZone. Wow. In my opinion, speculation only. Sure does sound like it to me, though. I've never seen... I'm glad I'm redoing this video. Okay, we've got a traffic violation. Moscow. Complaint of erratic driver who ran a red light. Last seen turning onto Hawthorne Drive. No report. Theft of automobile. Pullman Road at Nom Nom. Okay, that is a convenience store right in the middle of all that area, that Mountain View Place, or Mountain View Drive, right down by Identity Apartments, the Troy Mobile Station, the Cop Shop, the Grove Apartments. That's all right there. So this is smack dab in the middle of it, right? This Nom Nom convenience store. 2009 BMW X5, stolen a couple months ago. RP didn't realize it was stolen. No suspects. Unfounded report. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Do you guys realize that the first car, not the Elantra, but the first car that pulled down Linda Lane where the dumpster is and just came down, kind of backed around and then turned around and then left and then pulled out? Do you guys realize that that was a BMW X? They say it's an X6, but X5, whatever. I don't know how close they are in model style, body styles. But for this to be reported right here, this is September 16th. The murders happened November 13th. This car was reported stolen maybe a couple months ago. They don't know. Well, who is this that wouldn't know that their BMW X5 was stolen? I mean, do they have like a whole garage full of cars? Are they rich? Are they an alumni? What is it? I'd like to know. I'd like to know what color it was, too. Unfounded report. Unfounded report. I've never seen that either, by the way. Unfounded. Interesting. So, what, did the cops think they were lying when they reported it? Maybe. Was it the convenience store owners that owned this car? I mean, why would it be at that convenience store? That is weird. I mean, especially, and then how would they not notice it missing for a couple months if it's at a convenience store? I mean, that's a parking lot at a convenience store, right? I mean, they didn't just go in the convenience store and shop for 2 months and then come out and their car was gone, you know, while they were shopping in there. You know, oh, we didn't notice it being stolen all those days we were in the convenience store shopping for Slurpees and shit. That's bull crap. Non-injury traffic accident. Blaine by Taco Bell. There's that Taco Bell again. Third-party report. A fender bender happened in the parking lot. No report. Okay, we got a welfare check off 300 block of South Blaine. RP hasn't heard from subject in at least 12 hours, and she has told the RP she was going to contact him. No report. Well, that could just be, that could be anything. I mean, that could have been a walk of shame the night before. Who knows? That could have been anything. Could have been he's out partying. Who knows? Could be not interested. Could be he just slipped his mind, because that's kind of what happens with dudes, right? Vehicle prowl. 700 block of Brent Drive. Stolen receiver hitch. Possible suspect is a family member. Taken from toolbox in back of truck. Report taken. Now this one's really interesting, because if I recall, this happened to be a relative of Enon's, I believe. It's on my other video, and I don't think I actually wrote in there what it was, but I'll do some extra research on that. But I do recall that Brent Drive is, yeah, that it had to do with a family member. They think a family member did it, right? Yes, possible suspect is a family member. Interesting. And a trailer hitch, right? And a receiver hitch, stolen receiver hitch. So basically, yeah, from a toolbox in the back of truck. So like a hitch to, you can unscrew those hitches on the back of trucks and then put different shapes and sizes on them for whatever you need them for, whatever you're going to be towing. So, what were they planning on towing? Was it that fifth wheel that I thought was there for so long? Or what was it? Traffic violation. 2200 block of Westview Drive. Constant flow of trucks with dirt coming through. Unknown where they're coming from. Now that's interesting. That's really weird, huh? Especially someone who lives in that area. That's odd. Were they digging holes or something? And if they were, what were they digging holes for? Maybe there's actually a new development going up out there or something? I don't know. Warrant arrest. North Main Street and East Morton Street. Officer arrested a male on a warrant. Stray animals. East E Street and North Adams. Reporting a stray dog. Headed east. Officer responded. Unable to locate. No report. Trespassing complaint. East D Street. Moscow Middle School. RP heard from one of his custodians that a group of young men were trying to get into the gym. Officers responded. No report. Now that right there, my friends, is what you call, in my opinion, a quest, is what I would call that. A quest for a pledge. Meaning you go do this, this is what you need to do. You're on a quest, you need to return, you need to do this, then you need to return, go play one game of basketball, take a shower, leave the towels, whatever, get back here in whatever amount of time without being caught. That's how that seems to me. Animal noise complaint, 800 block of Sherwood Street. In my opinion, pure speculation, all of this, pure speculation. Dogs barking for at least 30 minutes, ongoing issue. When these dogs are barking, like they do, and they're nonstop. It makes me feel like someone is in that house, breaking into that house, near that house, but something is causing these dogs to alert their owners by barking, being whatever, scared, being protective, being whatever. Suspicious person circumstance, White Avenue roundabout. One man standing on one side of the road with a black knit cap covering their face and head. Officer responded, no report. What the heck is going on in this town? So White Avenue, it's literally all of this area is like within 3-4 minutes of each other. My cat is eating my bagel right now. Hold on. Okay, I got distracted there for actually quite a while. But I'm back. Yeah, my cat was eating my bagel, which she never does that. Like, he was like, what are you doing, little girl? So anyway, yeah, so there's a man just standing there in the cul-de-sac wearing a black knit cap covering his face and head. Well, that is nothing to see here, folks. Nothing there. Oh, by the way, do they call that a man clad in black? By chance? Maybe? Were they already sizing this house up? Were they already making runs? Like, say, for instance, they were practicing, for instance, what their plan was. Do you think possibly that the police that were at that noise complaint that day, do you think that they were, like, what do they call that? Not, staking the house out, like basically checking to see like the entrances and all the people who are there and just so on and so forth, and relaying the message? Could that be? In my opinion, I'm not saying they did, I'm just saying it was kind of weird. This is like, 14 days after the noise complaint and less than a month before the murders happened. So we've got another noise complaint. Kitty wants in. Loud music going on all night. Officer responded. That's on Ashbury, so that's downtown, right across from Almond Street. Disorderly conduct. Almond, there we go. Female in her nightgown dancing. Boy, howdy. Must have been some good stuff going around that night, huh? That day. I think this might even be a Tuesday, maybe. I don't remember, but I think it's a Tuesday. Alcohol offense. Advised there is a party spilling over in lot 16. Open containers and people leaving trash around. Officers responded and a report was taken. Well, it's about time. Dang. Spilling over in lot 16. What are you doing, you crazy girl? She's on a mission today. She's racing all over the place. Animal bites, you guys. Animal bites. What in the heck? What if they were listen to this. What if they were trying to get... What if this was going to happen that day and it didn't? Weird. I don't know why and this is Wallace Complex. Wallace Complex. Okay, when they did their police report on Thomas Adams when he was shooting the place up, right? The cops, it showed them in the parking lot, and they were putting out crime team tape so that people wouldn't go into this certain area. And guess what it was? It was Wallace Complex. Animal bites. Law and EMS responded. Patient taken to Gritman. No report. I would wonder who that was taken to Gritman. That would be very interesting to find that one out. Holy crap, this is a day and a day and a day and a day. Just a ton of stuff here. Noise complaint. 1000 block of Deacon Avenue. Loud noise and music going on all night. Tonight for about 3 hours. Officer responded and no report. Welfare check. 1000 block of Main. RP saw a vehicle that was stopped in the road. RP thought she might have been asleep. Officer responded, unable to locate. Probably not asleep. Probably the GHB kicked in my opinion. I hope she's okay. Okay, this is your report, and I'm telling you, my reports, if you go back around this time and you go look at these reports, you're going to be stumped at, like, what the heck's going on in that town? Flabbergasted, all those good big words that are fun to say. 9/16/2022. there you have it. Don't forget about that BMW X5 being stolen 2 months prior. They didn't even notice it. Well, wouldn't that be nice? Not even noticing one of your awesome cars stolen because you just had too many, or you just, you know, it's just another car. Whatever. Chew on that one for a while. Ta-ta. I'm going to finish this off with my video that I did before this one, which I kind of see. It was kind of, when I went and reviewed it again, it was a little difficult to see some of the listings on there, or some of the reports, so that was my bad. Okay, thanks for watching. Can't wait to see your comments on this one.